Okay, we're recording. Welcome. This is day 3 of my 7-day posting challenge. I haven't been posting the last couple days, so I promise we're going to get back 7 posts within at least 14 days of this challenge. It's been a really busy, wonderful past couple days with some wonderful people and some wonderful projects, which I hope I get to talk about on this channel. But in any case, here's day 3, and let's get into it. So what inspired my video for today is actually a podcast that I listened to recently, specifically in the world of journalism. So, what happened was there was this woman who has been a journalist herself. She's worked for a number of media outlets. And what she's doing is recounting her experiences of the kinds of stories that she told and the kinds of stories that she now wants to tell through a new organization. So, here's what happened. She told her of her experiences where she would try to talk about things that matter, right? And she wants to report on what's happening in the world. And what she realized is that so much of what she was doing and so much what her journalism peers and networks were doing was they were reporting on problems, things that were substantive, of course, but problems that once told had the assumption that now someone somewhere was going to swoop in and solve it, right? This idea that once you talk about it, someone is going to figure it out and solve that problem. And she realized that story after story, both from herself and from her peers and networks, simply publishing about a problem didn't mean it was going to get solved. So she wanted to try doing something different. And the example she tells is actually of medical access in countries outside or who are not the United States. And so she wants to pitch this. She pitches the story to her editor, and she says, there are so many countries around the world that are struggling to get access to the medical care that they need, to the medicines, to the vaccines, to the interventions that they need to take care of their communities. And she wants to report on this problem. She goes to her editor, and the editor says, we can't do that. People aren't reading us so that they can get sad. There's a million things that people are already sad about in the world, right? So we can't do that kind of story. Find something else. So she goes back, she thinks about it, and she finds not just more countries and more angles to look at the problem, but she finds countries that are finding solutions to it. She looks at Brazil and realizes that Brazil has this problem, but they're developing their own medicines, their own vaccinations. And, maybe even in some ways in defiance of other countries that are saying, no, you can't develop this medicine, you can't take this kind of intervention that we've already patented or whatever. And now Brazil has their own medicine, their own medical intervention that they can now use. And so she wants to report on this, and by reporting on the country that's doing it well and kind of modeling a solution, she can now even use that as an angle to talk about the larger problem of global healthcare access as a whole, where here's Brazil that's doing these amazing things, and here are the challenges that other countries are still facing. And now what this is this isn't just a story that people can look at and get informed or even feel good about. The idea is to take something very practical that organizers and ordinary people can use to actually make change and to use as a model to implement further around. So something that I really respect about the way she's describing it is that solutions journalism isn't just some fluff piece. It's not propaganda that seeks to make people feel good or provide PR for whatever effort or organization that exists. The idea is to dive deep, go into the details, see what is the problem, how are people solving it, what's working, and also what isn't working, so that people can look at it. And the specific thing that's important is that people can use this journalism to actually use it either as a model or a roadmap, or maybe just as inspiration, but use it concretely to make an impact in their own communities. So I find that really inspiring. That is solutions journalism. And hopefully that can be something that we integrate here into this channel and whatever we decide to go for. So thanks for listening. Let's try to create something beautiful and meaningful, and I'll see you in the next video.